All right. Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for joining today. My name is Zonzi. I'm hosting the Discord AMA series. Today, we have some special guests coming in from Overnight Finance. Why don't you guys kick this off by introducing yourselves, telling us a bit about your background story, what you were doing before crypto, what brought you into crypto, and a little bit about your journey within the space.
Yes, sorry about the background noise. I don't understand why, since I kind of connected, there is so much. I think apologies for all these notifications. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, I was trying to turn off all these notifications which were kind of making noise in the background, but they still are. So, my name is Maxim Amirlov. I'm the founder of Overnight, and here with me is our head of marketing, Andrei, and also our head of community relations, Abdul. What brought me into crypto is, I'm more of a traditional finance person. So all my life, I was working in like blue chip institutions, kind of JP Morgan, Morgan Stanley. I spent 17 years with the Boston Consulting Group. I did all that across France, like Paris, London, and Moscow. Just a second. I'm sorry. I just need to turn off all this voice.
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah, hi. I've been doing this like all my life, so worked for the blue chip institutions and for traditional banks and insurance companies across the world. I'm educated like ISEC France, Plekhanov Moscow, INSEAD Singapore, and Stanford in the United States. My apologies. There is all this noise. I don't know how to turn it off.
You sound great. It's all good.
Like there are all these notifications which are making noise. I apologize for this. So after 17 years consulting banks and stuff like that, I wanted to do something else, and I became a CEO of a fintech lab called GPB Digital, and we were building like all sorts of fintech products. That was 2017 for a very large bank, just a second.
Hey Max, if you go into settings and enable streamer mode, it should turn off those notifications.
And those settings are where?
So you go to bottom left, click on the cog, and then hit streamer mode. It should be under Windows settings. It's on the app settings, and then the first option is enable streamer mode, and that'll turn off those join notifications.
Sorry, I cannot see it.
I posted a picture in general chat in the text channel.
Just a second, I really apologize. Streamer mode.
No stress, it's all good.
The bottom left, right? That's where okay.
Yeah, so if you're in Discord, the bottom left, you should see your username and then a cogwheel, user settings.
So I turn on the streamer. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, streamer mode, and then that should turn off the notifications.
Okay, cool. Thanks for this.
No problem.
Yes, thank you.
So yeah, thank you. So yeah, so I've been doing like all these traditional financial institutions, and then I joined one of my clients, became CEO of a fintech lab, and we were building what is now called traditional fintech. But in 2017, that was all new, and that was also the boom of the blockchain. I think it was the first time blockchain was booming. So that was quite amazing. So we kind of built first two products on the blockchain. One of them was called Axiometria. It was something we wanted to do a debit card, which you could top up with crypto and spend everywhere. We looked at Monaco, 10x at that point in time. Monaco since then became kind of crypto.com and very famous. And we wanted to do something similar. And then we did also a factoring business on the blockchain as well. And so, but then after a while, I realized that like big corporations, like big banks, are not the best owners and not the best investors into blockchain businesses. And so I kind of left, went to Stanford, and after Stanford, I wanted to do something on my own. And I've started first business, and now this is my second business, which I launched. And the idea came to me because I was like, we sold the previous company, and I was thinking what to do next. And I was exploring various ideas, and I was still kind of yield farming from the old days, kind of was invested into a few tokens and was yield farming. And I kind of realized that I was spending way too much time researching, managing risk, kind of managing UX complexity. I really felt that it was very exciting to yield farm, but as I'm risk averse, extremely risk averse, and I was not prepared to put in a lot of like big checks, like millions into yield farming. I was really thinking that the return I was getting, despite very high APYs, the return on my time was not worth it. In particular because I wanted to make sure that wherever I invest was extremely low risk. And so I had this idea that what I should probably do, like I was thinking maybe there is like some sort of money market fund. In traditional finance, it's actually a huge asset class. It's like a savings account. Whenever you have spare cash, you don't know yet what to do with it. You need time to figure it out. You just put your spare cash into a money market fund. It costs almost nothing to buy it. Your cash is there. It's always, you never lose money when you invest it into money market fund. It's super liquid, so you can get your cash back at any point in time. And it also pays you some APY, like a little bit of APY. It's better than keeping it like in cash. It's slightly better than keeping it in cash. So I was thinking, can somebody a solution like this must exist? And I was thinking, who is doing like this money market funds? I looked at Earn in particular, but those guys just moved to charging 220 on the investments. And that's like, no for me, because like paying 2% on my spare cash, I was like, no, 20% on, that's like more like as if they have make smart investments of my cash rather than just saving the money. And I couldn't find the solution. And then second insight came when I was like exploring a little bit why it doesn't exist, and then I figured out a rule by SEC in the United States, and a similar rule exists more or less everywhere. And actually what the SEC does, it tells that the money market funds should follow so-called NAV of one policy. So what it means is that 1 unit of a money market fund should always be $1. It should have like $1 of liquid assets behind it, and whenever people want their money back, this dollar should be given to them by law. And so the way SEC kind of enforces that regulation is very simple. They basically tell you what to invest into in these extremely conservative assets. It's like US treasuries, 30-day treasuries, like 7-day repos, like something which is as good as cash but generates some yield. So they mandate you something extremely low risk. So this way they assure that you never fall below $1 in assets. But whenever these assets generate some profit, you should give it back to the user, to the holder of the money market fund. And kind of it occurred to me that SEC is fighting against stable coins, but at the same time they have invented the stable coin, like yield generating stable coin. They just don't know that the money market fund, which has to follow the NAV of one policy, is actually a yield generating stable coin, like the way it is constructed. And I found that extremely amusing that they are fighting against stable coins, but they actually, they also manage the stable coins. And I thought that's an insight which I should build upon. And like a year ago, I had this idea, Then there was vacation, and I started talking to some people. We got together in August, really started building in September, October. Then we raised in January pre-seed money. We closed on like the round on the 27th of January. And then, we went live at some point. And, we of course learned a lot on the way because the original idea was just like we built, if you wish, yield farming as a service. So you put your cash in and you don't think about it, like shoot and forget. You know that everything is under control. But then we realized that because of the form factor that this extremely conservative DeFi money market fund has the form of the stablecoin. It has multiple wonderful magical use cases which traditional finance cannot even imagine. It was really a revelation, and that's why we continued this project and like so big believers into this right now, and investors are backing us. Is you can actually use this stablecoin and put it into a DEX. You can put it into an LP, and you can actually generate yield on USD Plus when it is LP'd into, for example, Dystopia or Penrose. Like when you come to our Discord, like people who come for the first time, they're like, "Oh, really? Where does the yield come from?" And you say like, you get it as a rebase once a day, and they're like, okay, fine. But when I LP it, do I lose it? No, it produces yield via rebase even when you LP. And then every second person goes and checks it. They buy 100 USD plus and 100 USDC. They put it into Dystopia. Then they wait until the time of the rebase comes, and they're like, "Wow, my balance has increased. Wow, this is so amazing." And this is really kind of the wow effect we are getting because nobody is used to getting yield when you LP in a DEX. If you LP in a DEX, then you just get rewards and fees. You don't get the yield. And here you get the yield, rewards, and the fees. So it's like double benefit. And so people are like, wow. And these are the yield farmers. And then some projects, when they found out that USD Plus kind of produces yield in the pools, we had several companies like Tetu, Sphere, AutoClam, and a bunch of others. Many of them I cannot talk about yet. But they came over and they said, "Look, we are managing a game, and we must provide our own liquidity on QuickSwap. For example, we're providing, our token plus USDC. And you know what? All the liquidity in this DEX, it's all ours. We have to do it because that's how our game works. And it means that a lot of USDC is immobilized in QuickSwap because we provide the liquidity, USDC is there, it must be there, but it's not working for us. Why don't you why don't we pair against USD Plus? It's as good as USDC because you can mint and redeem, USDC against USD Plus with a click of a button. So it's as good as USDC, but it's also working. It's also producing yield for us. And we had a bunch of projects who wanted to and already want, and have already done, and there's a queue of people who want to establish pools not against USDC, not against Matic, not against ETH, but against USD Plus.
Max,
and then, yeah.
Max, sorry, can I interrupt you for a second? Hey guys, this is Andrew here from Overnight Finance. I'm the CMO as Max introduced me. But Max, I know you're a little bit ahead of everyone. And I think we need to make a step back and just explain to everyone how USD Plus works.
Yeah,
Because
definitely.
This is the question that we constantly get because, it's just almost the continuation of our status meeting with the team, which we had with Max. And Max is so ahead of time, so ahead of everything was going on the really edge of the technology of DeFi, and he's already there. But let's make a step back and just explain what USD Plus does and how it does all its magic. So Max, maybe you could just explain a little bit more about where this yield bearing component is coming from.
Yeah. I explained how money market funds work, and then it's obvious how USD Plus is functioning. So sorry about that.
Yeah.
Thanks, Andrei. So yeah, USD Plus functions exactly like a money market fund. So USD Plus is collateralized, 100% collateralized by high quality stables, only high quality stables. So at the moment it's USDC, USDT DAI, and that's it. No other stables at this stage have been able to pass our due diligence. So just for the sake of due diligence, we would only consider stables which are borrowable on Aave, because we believe that is some sort of quality assurance, and we know that if a stable is on Aave, we can at least hedge the exposure to the stable, and I'll tell more about that later. So only high quality stables. Then these high quality stables are invested by our protocol, by USD Plus, across a number of collaterals. So a number of high quality, low risk, high liquidity DeFi strategies. In particular, lending, and big chunk of it is going to Aave, and stable to stable pools, USDC, USDT, USDC DAI. So we run no impermanent loss risk. So whenever you come with your USDC, you want USD Plus, you can mint one for the other. Your USDC gets invested according to certain pre-allocated criteria, gets invested into a bunch of pools, essentially.
And just to clarify,
yeah.
So once a day you airdrop the yield rewards to all the holders of USD Plus, and this includes the people that decide to use USD Plus in liquidity pools?
We do not airdrop. We give you your profit, your yield, via rebase.
Gotcha.
So the difference is essentially the rebase function is exactly the same as that of Aave. Like Aave doesn't airdrop you anything, but the rebase USDC, it's particular intervals.
Yeah, so essentially it's there when you go to redeem your USD Plus back for USDC kind of thing?
It's not just there, it's there at any point in time. So when you wallet, your balance will grow in. You'll just open your wallet, it's 100 USD Plus. You open next day, it's 100.02. Or 100.2. And then next day it's 100.4. And the day after it's 100.6. The yield varies depending on how much yield the collateral generates. But whatever yield is generated by the collateral, you get via rebase. And it's growing. It's just growing. You don't need to stake. You don't need to lock. Nothing. It just grows.
Okay, thank you for clarifying that. A question I have for you is, so I understand you're deployed on Polygon. Are there any other chains you're deployed on, and why did you choose these chains, if so?
We are not yet deployed on other chains. We are thinking about Avalanche. I think we're going to be deployed there soon. But maybe Optimism, maybe Neon too. But at the moment, we wanted to kind of deploy in Polygon because it was so early to the market. And what it has changed, in my opinion, is that what I wanted to build, you cannot build on Ethereum. Because the way it tempts, but what we are doing requires a lot of logic inside the coin. So because the coin actually becomes your asset manager. And it requires kind of smart contracts, which, weigh heavy on gas. And to me, Polygon has enabled not a lower gas transactions. Not doing the same as on Ethereum, but at lower cost. To me, it has enabled an opportunity to realize more sophisticated things on blockchain because it's cheaper and more scalable. And that's what we are doing. We have built a token which has an asset manager inside it. It has a money market fund inside it. And that is why it's so interesting to be on Polygon rather than anywhere else.
Awesome. That's fantastic to hear. My next question would be regarding what your short-term goals are. Like you said, you started building out in around August, September. You guys went live in January, so you've definitely already come a long way really quickly, which is fantastic to see. So I'm wondering more about where you see yourselves going in the next few months. Maybe you want to touch on some of your partnerships and how that benefits the USD Plus ecosystem.
Yeah, well, a big partnership for us is around Sphere and Dystopian Pinrose. So once we launch the pools, two things have helped us a lot actually. I'm sorry to say it, but UST crisis has kind of awakened a lot of people. We're an extremely risk-averse type of product, so everything is very collateralized, which is fully collateralized, high-quality collateral generating. So this is something which was not in great demand before UST, because before UST everybody said, there are no risks in DeFi. High APY for sure. Algorithmic UST, well, it's a stable. USD Plus is a stable, but UST via Anchor pays you way more than USD Plus. And when you say USD Plus is less risky, everybody laughed. Well, nobody's laughing anymore. And so people kind of have turned back to this low risk approach, fully collateralized with high quality collateral yield generating stable, which USD Plus is. And I can tell you, since mid-May, we have grown like 3 or 4 times. I mean, I got to check the latest number, but like close to 4 times already. In terms of TVL and most importantly in terms of you and in terms of people in Discord and community and everything. And so what matters to us is participating in the ecosystem and growing our presence. And for us, the presence we grow by establishing as many pools as possible. So our goal is to be number one in Matic trading. And our second goal is eventually kind of to be the largest stable-to-stable pool on Polygon, so that when you want to invest like yield farm in stable-to-stable pool, first of all you kind of look at USDC, USD Plus, and then you compare other pools against this pool. So kind of establish the quality benchmark in terms of stable-to-stable pools. Another major, and eventually the goal is to become something like an alternative to USDC, because USD Plus is just is USDC which pays you yield, so it's better than USDC, and it's equal on all other dimensions. So that's why we want our ambitious goal, which is probably not for the next month but slightly longer, is to try to match the emission of USDC on Polygon in volume. Last but not least, very important for us is to eventually kind of prove our worthiness as collateral, because USD Plus is fantastic for collateral. You can use it as leverage, as collateral for getting loans. And if you get like interest-free loan, which for example Preon is going to launch, which is part of Sphere ecosystem, you can get it leveraged against with interest-free loans. That becomes very interesting. USD Plus is yielding 8 to 12%. Via Preon, you will be able to leverage like 920 times. So if you multiply the 8% by 920, I mean, you get like fantastic yield opportunity if you're prepared to lock in your money for a while. So that's very important to us. And last but not least, is we really, as I said, we want to be number one in trading Matic. We want to be the largest pool DC USD Plus. Most importantly, we want half of projects on Polygon network to change away their trading pairs, change them away from being paired to USDC or Matic or ETH to being paired against USD Plus. I think there are huge advantages to that, and people are really.
Yeah, it's fantastic. I think those are some really good goals to have. Very ambitious, but at the same time, definitely achievable goals. By the way, guys, I forgot to mention this earlier. If you have any questions, there's a text channel called Voice Chat within this Polygon Voices category where the voice channel we're currently in is. If you want to just type out your questions in the Voice Chat text channel, that'd be great. Just to avoid a lot of chaos if we let everyone unmute their mic. And If you guys would like to go ahead and screen share and showcase your platform, you're definitely welcome to. I don't know if you're dialing in from your phone or your computer, but if you'd like to screen share the overnight finance platform, uh, we would love that. All right, so lots of pasta is wondering, is the collateral that backs USD Plus on chain and public? I believe you already touched on that, but if you want to just
Yes, everything is on chain, and actually the portfolio is managed on chain, and it's updated on our website, on our DApp online, so you can kind of watch it at any point in time. And there are links which to specific transactions which you can click on and see the collateral and where it's held, and all the contracts, and most importantly, like how yield is calculated, its payout, and like you can see all that. It's all super transparent.
Can you guys see this my screen?
yeah, we can see it. Looks great. We got another question coming in from Harambe. Great name. He's curious about the insurance on USD Plus, and so he's wondering how the insurance will work and what would protect investors from having the value of USD Plus tank like UST, the Terra stablecoin, did.
Yeah, I think we get that question a lot. So we believe, actually we're extremely conservative, but when we talk to our clients, also in particular institutional clients, all they ask about is like, guys, how can we kind of get insurance on top of your super product? So insurance is something which we are very interested in. So we will partner with insurance providers, but most importantly, we want to build insurance ourselves so that our governance token, when it's issued, can be used together with other assets to provide insurance for USD Plus. And people who will provide insurance, so stake or VN token, they will be entitled to receive insurance premiums on one hand, but on the other hand, these people will be able to participate in the governance and kind of choose strategies which go or don't go into the portfolio. It's very important for us to structure the governance this way, because we need to make sure that people who participate in the governance are risk averse, so are afraid to lose their money, and that is why they they're afraid to lose their investment in, and that is why they vote for low risk rather than high APY. And so that's really our challenge, is to like set up the governance in a way that people who want to profit should avoid the risk or minimize risk. That's how we want to build insurance. What was the second question?
He's wondering what protects investors from the value of USD Plus tanking like UST did.
Well, the difference is huge. It has no collateral, had no collateral. So it had liabilities and no assets. So it was just issuing algorithmic stablecoin, but there was no asset. I wrote an article for NASDAQ. It was published, I think, March, basically making the same point. That,
Yeah.
as soon as inflation comes, USD Plus and DAI and USDC, so all those who are collateralized will benefit, and algorithmics will suffer in each way.
Yeah, that makes sense. So essentially, UST was an algorithmic stablecoin with nothing really backing it, whereas USD Plus is 100% collateralized.
And high quality collateral and super liquid. That's the difference. Collateralized with the USDC, USD
Yeah. So we got a guy, Pingu. He's wondering about the collateral allocation and how it's held. Like, is it managed from like a multi-sig contract, or how does that all work?
So our governance, we essentially forked compound governance. And so as part of that compound governance, there is a voting procedure, and it allows, basically the way it works is that, for the time being, the team is holding all the votes until OVN is issued. But the votes are delegated to 3 different people. And so these 3 different people need to vote and get majority before any changes happen to the code or to the strategy. So it's compound governance which is implemented. It's a standard Open Zeppelin contract for the governance.
Carcat is wondering, how does the growth of USD Plus as a project benefit investors?
At some point there will be an IDO ICO. We wanted actually to do it around this time. Actually, we wanted already to have our governance token issued by now. But the market has not been the best market. So we probably think that at some point we will issue our governance token. One of our investors is Brian Tubergen. He is the founder of CoinList, and many of you know that CoinList to ICOs is what Goldman Sachs is to IPOs. So it's like there's no one better, conducting anything like that. So at some point we were planning actually to do the ICO, some legal advice. But now we are waiting for the market to improve. And as soon as it's better, then we will conduct a public sale.
We got selected investments wondering, why AVAX as the next chain? What is appealing to you about the Avalanche chain?
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Selected Investments. Actually, we've been pleased with all your reviews plus on your channel, and actually it was some of the most in-depth reviews we have noticed. And the fact that you are following up on that and kind of explaining to your audience how USD Plus works and all the nuances, we're actually very, very grateful for that. But AVAX, in our community, a lot of people were asking where to go next. And it's very hard to figure out where to go. We asked our community, where would you like us to go? And a lot of people were saying like they are also part of the AVAX community. But what really got us decided is there was a bunch of projects which called us up and just said, guys, we really want you on AVAX because we want to use that. We want to establish a pair, like a trading pair against USD Plus. We want actually, so they basically really need a product like ours. And because they were so vocal about their need, it just made sense to deploy as quickly as possible and go, because they need us. That's why we deployed there. And no one from other chains reached out as vigorously as some projects from AVAX chain.
Awesome, thank you. Pingu has another question. He's wondering, how does he beat the arbitrage bot that maintains the peg of USD Plus? So like, I don't know, is there an arbitrage bot? How do you guys maintain the peg?
Monsieur Pingu knows a lot about USD Plus, and thank you. So yes, what is happening is, USD Plus, you can mint and redeem on demand. So you can come with USDC and make it into USD Plus one-on-one. You can take your one USD Plus and get one USD back with a click of a button. So that's actually a very important feature. It's as good as you literally pay. So what it allows us to do is to do very efficient peg maintenance. It's like really, really easy for us. Why? Because whenever USD Plus is trading somewhere, for example against Matic, or it's trading against ETH, or it's trading against USDC, we really don't care what to trade against, because we can always look at Matic USDC pair, and we know what the rate should be. And so we do conduct our own. So whenever the price is different, for example, Matic USD Plus is different from Matic USD. We have bots which exercise the arbitrage. So they will go take a flash loan USD, mint USD Plus, sell it for Matic, resell Matic for USDC, cover the flash loan. And the way bots are set up is, Mr. Pingu, possible because they're set up to generate zero. They don't generate a minus, they don't generate a plus, they just generate exactly zero profit. And that is done in particular because we want to have, a perfect match between USD Plus and USDC. And this is done by design. This, if we turn this opportunity off, this spot's off, people can come and start doing arbitrage themselves. So this is the beauty of the design. It's, in my view, it's possible to do it. What you can do, what you could try to do, and actually I would encourage other people to, as much as possible, is to build their own arbitrage using USD Plus and try to arbitrage Matic Plus, Matic, and some other pairs like that. Maybe by building a better bot, and maybe by kind of spending more on gas than USD Plus, so that whenever there is an arbitrage, you kind of get ahead of you. But so far, people have not. There were a few attempts, but people were able to do it.
Lots of Pasta has a series of questions right now. So he's wondering, since you generate yield through counterparty lending, what shields you from counterparty risk if one of the protocols ends up tanking? He thinks that seems like the main risk here. He's wondering, is there a reserve fund or insurance fund kept for such things?
Yeah, so by design, so first of all, there are two things we use to mitigate that risk. I will give you an example of Penrose. Penrose, so we really do a lot of due diligence and research into investing. So one of the best opportunities right now is to farm using DAI on Dystopia via Penrose. So kind of you LP on Dystopia and lock your LP on Penrose, so that's very, very, very lucrative. And USDC USD Plus pair is like through the roof at the moment. It's like so attractive. Penrose ecosystem we are part of. But we are still farming by audited Dystopia. We know the contracts inside. We know solid list fork, inside which it's Uni v2 IMM contracts, extremely reliable. And so we are farming through Dystopia because we looked at the code, and that's amazing. Penrose is, we need like 10 days to look through their code. We need to kind of analyze it, make sure it as Dystopia and our pools, and then we can maybe use that opportunity. So first mitigation factor is really audit the which we deal, and we really kind of go for high protocols, and don't rely on audits, rely on our judgments. We have special people who do it, and I mean it's very. But even the best protocols can tank. Cream got hacked at some point in time. I mean, it's almost like as if Avi got hacked. So that is a risk. That is absolutely the risk, and that is a risk we cannot address fully. So if that happens, there could be a negative rebase. So that will happen, but we will build an opportunity to get insurance against that negative rebase. So first of all, we do everything possible to avoid it. So far, we've been able to avoid it. But as we develop, the probability of that cannot be excluded. So we'll get insurance once we build it.
Yeah, thank you for the honest clarification on that, and that really highlights the importance of anyone who's in charge of governance to make smart decisions for the protocol, as it's of course, their investment at risk. Pengu has a question. He's wondering, is there any plan to have USD Plus on Aave at some point? I know you did mention USD Plus being used as a collateral for borrowing. So Aave, would there be an interest in getting on Aave? Are there any other platforms that pique your interest?
Yeah, so Aave priority of the stablecoin. And in particular, it requires very deep liquidity before they would accept that. But we are certainly very in Aave. But for that, we need like much deeper liquidity, establish Oracle, blah blah blah. There's so much we need to do, and there is so much development ahead of us to be able to qualify that. I hope someday we will be able to meet it. But before that, we would really love to partner with Chidao, and for them to accept us as collateral. Pre-own seems to be underway. The discussions seem to be underway. There is another lending protocol which might come from Caitlin, I think, blockchain called Kronos Cash. Kairos Cash. So we have been in discussions with them that if they come, they will plus more than one. As collateral. So as many lending partners as we get, we would be very interested. But not because we are interested, because our clients are people who want to farm USD Plus, understand how reliable leverage, multiply your 8% yield by 9, you get, so that's huge yield.
Fantastic. Typically we end these after 45 minutes, but there's a lot of attendance here today. I'm wondering if you guys would be okay to stick around for like another 10-15 minutes to answer some more questions.
We would be prepared to stick around as possible to answer questions.
Great. Awesome. Love to hear that. I really wanted to give Andrew the chance. He was trying to screen share earlier. I was hoping he could go over some of the different yield farming strategies with USD Plus over a screen share. Thank you, Andrew.
Yeah, sure. So were you talking about the cases where we can LP USD Plus with other coins, or are you talking specifically about the strategies in the portfolio?
Yeah, we can touch on both, I suppose.
Yeah, Max. Do you wanna comment on that?
These would be the strategies here that are being farmed using the collateral that backs USD Plus.
Yeah, these are the strategies which we use as the collateral. Essentially, yeah, we have over 20 different strategies connected to our dev server, and we constantly monitor performance of those strategies. So we run them through a very rigorous process of kind of assessment, and we invest our own money before we submit anything for the live prod server. And these are the ones which are currently live, but they move, and they kind of at some point we can increase the share of one or decrease the share of another. Yeah, currently Dystopia is not one. Dystopia, USDC, USDT, and all of those strategies are clickable. And the beauty, by the way, like of USD Plus, is that you guys can do it all on your own without buying USD Plus. You can go to our website, you can go to Dystopia, and you can do exactly the same what we're doing with USD Plus. You can go to Aave and you can land your USDC to Aave and get the yield from there. So the beauty of USD Plus is that it's all in one token, and it's all happening automatically for you. So it's like a yield farming kind of as a service, and it's 100% like liquid, immediately redeemable. So anytime, any point in time, you can do it, and you can redeem everything you have, and you'll get your USDCs back. Yeah. So like, any questions on that? Like, is it something that we need to have more details on?
Yeah, if you guys got any questions on that, drop them in the voice chat text channel. And then, Andrew, would you mind jumping into the DApp itself and showing us a bit of what that looks like?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, DApp is something that we've been polishing, and we're also creating a new version of DApp. So that it's coming soon. It's gonna be, well, like the next level of utility. You'll be able to also find the strategies where you can use your USD Plus to earn even more. But let's look at what it is right now. So the basic one is you can mint USDC to USD Plus, and it's like 1-to-1, no slippage, no like everything. It's 1-to-1. It's like the definition of USD Plus. It is USDC, which pays you additional yield on a daily basis. So here you can always mint USD Plus. You don't have to do it like anywhere else. If you see that there's a price difference, you can arbitrage, right? So you can do it yourself. You can arbitrage. So moving on, these are the farms, the pools where you can already provide liquidity and start earning rewards. Mainly it's Dystopia and QuickSwap. With Dystopia, there is a Penrose, which can provide even more rewards here. So in addition to what you're getting with your USD Plus, you're getting rewards from Dystopia and Penrose, and this list is going to grow inevitably. So just keep close to us, to this list, and in our Discord as well, and we will provide you with new opportunities. There is also statistics over here, and you can see how our TVL, we call it protocol controlled value, PCV, grows over time. And you can see this is the time over here of Luna crash over here. And just like we just started to kind of explode in terms of the growth. So we grew 3 times, and we had times when whales came and just played with our DApp, minting and redeeming like 300K at a time, and we of course nothing happened, and all went well. On the left side, you can see the average APY, like weekly, monthly, and all time. All time, you can see it's 11.3% APY, right? Just for everyone to like, just do we need to explain what APY stands for?
I think it's fine. Let's go ahead.
I think everyone here probably understands.
Okay. Yeah, makes sense. Yeah, if we go down, you can also see all our strategies and current distribution of funds between our strategies. This is pretty, like, this is extremely transparent. So we're like, this is all what we are about, transparency, right? And you can see net asset value and liquidation value, and there's a difference between those two things. Net asset value is calculated by with an oracle from Chainlink. So the price of all our assets currently, but liquidation value is slightly different. Is it what'll happen? How many USDCs will we get if we dump all our volume right away, right now? So it includes a little bit of slippage, and you can see there's a tiny difference over here. Again, we are very transparent about this as well. Everything is clickable. Again, if you want to do it yourself, you can do it yourself. You can provide liquidity. You can go every day and you can claim rewards, and you can provide more liquidity. Like based on those rewards, you have to sell those rewards and buy USDC every time, or USDT or DAI, and provide liquidity every day. So this is what USD Plus is doing for you. And a couple of words about collateral. Like also, if this is live. So this is our collateral currently, 65% in USDC and 32% in USDT. Again, if we start to add DAI strategies, you will see it here. And you will never see anything like UST here. So like as Max mentioned, we are not believers of algorithmic stablecoins. So you will never see anything volatile here. Like only USDC, USDT DAI for now, but like maybe something else in the future. So we are very, very risk averse for you, because our funds are here as well. There's this cool dashboard. This is how your money move. I moved all my money from our dApp to liquidity pairs. That's why I don't see it here, but all of my money are sitting in liquidity pairs currently, and it's like Penrose because it's giving me the highest yield. It's not a financial advice. Do your own research, guys. But I'm having yeah, kind of this was my decision, and you can see all your activities, what's going on here, like where you moved. Like there's payout. An API like payout happening daily. For example, today's payout was plus like something over here, and the APY is 7.58%. So yeah, this is what you can see currently on our dApp. It's developing.
Andrei, do you want maybe to quickly go to Penrose, not Penrose, to Dystopia?
Definitely.
Because I think the most interesting thing is that, obviously we are trading against USDC like any other stablecoin, and against Vmatic like everyone should. But there are other projects which have chosen to establish a pair against USD Plus.
I would start with just basic statistics here. So guys, you can see that on Dystopia, a newly, it's fairly new project launched in the Sphere ecosystem on Polygon. USD Plus is number 3 in terms of volume after USDC and Rapmatic. You can see we are number 3, which is incredible and impressive. Just for us, it's just like we celebrate this result. If we're talking about liquidity pairs, you can see that USD Plus USDC is number 2 traded liquidity pair on Dystopia currently. So this, like, again, for us, it's an incredible result, and it pays you fees, right? So like it's very important. Like, why is it important? Not only to demonstrate that it's a big deal, it's serious, but also for Dystopia governance token holders, if they vote for our pool, they get additional fees in the form, the additional fees over here. And if we go back to their dApp, then you can see that there's a bunch of pairs already created with the USD Plus. Like the biggest one is obviously USD Plus USDC. It's 2 million currently, but there's also Vmatic, Teru, Dist, Ethereum, Mai, and so on. And what Max I think wanted to mention here is that we see a huge trend. Every day we see people and projects coming to us asking about how to create a pool with USD Plus. And you see there's USD Plus Teru, there's USD Plus Clam. It's from Otter Clam community. So essentially it's a game, and they need to provide their users a liquidity, and instead of holding their liquidity in a pair with USDC, they hold their liquidity in a pair of USD Plus Clam, and this gives them like two benefits. Benefit number 1 is that their funds are always growing, just in general. Like this pool is growing together with USD Plus. But the second thing, which Max started to mention in the very beginning of this session, you remember that since USD Plus is growing in a pair, it appreciates the partnering token as well. In our case, it's Clam. So what's happening is that USD Plus grows every day. But if you provide 100 USD Plus and 100 Clams, and tomorrow it's going to be 101 USD Plus, it means that a Clam, like one Clam, started to cost more. So it kind of helps grow your token. And this is such a subtle difference, but it's extremely important difference. It's not like if nothing else like is happening, your token, a token of your project, grows the same rate USD Plus is growing. I mean, not USD Plus, because USD Plus is constantly like one USDC, but appreciates with the APY USD Plus is providing to their holders. I don't know, was that kind of clear, or we can double down on that?
Oh, that was a fantastic explanation, I believe. Thank you so much for going over all that.
Can you click on the question mark, please, against USDC, USD? I think this is. I also wanted to add this. So you look at this total APR, and this topic was very nice to actually how to look at the yields provided by the pool. So there's total APR between 15 and 26%. Depends on whether you vote or not for that pool. That's how much you get. But then there is a very interesting difference. There is this addition of the boosted APR, which you are getting from USD Plus. Because USD Plus pays you yield, and it pays you yield even in the LP. You see USDC is paying you 0 yield, Plus is paying you 7.8. So that increases the APY of your pool much, significantly, in contrast to other stables. So because USD Plus pays you yield even in pools. That's how it differentiates, and that's why it's such a different product.
Yeah, definitely. Usually we have more questions about stability and concerns about security because basically what you're having is that you're having an additional 11%, but people say that oh, we are risking like so much more if we just provide you with our savings and funds. Yeah, and this is how we answer that, guys. Like again, our USD Plus is fully collateralized with USDC and USDT, so it's essentially the same. And our team is fully doxed, so you can see everyone on our website over here, and like every single person of our team is over here. You can click and you can research what they've done before and what everyone is doing. And it is extremely important because this is a long game for all of us. And it's extremely extremely important game for all of us. So if you have any questions about or concerns about security, just go to our Discord and ask your questions. Max is like 24/7 almost there, answering your questions there like directly. We're doing AMAs every week with our faces like on YouTube and on like everywhere basically, right? So yeah, it's a very ambitious project, and we're looking forward to just becoming the next USDC or even overcoming its success. By the way, on this Friday, we are going to have I don't know if I may, Zonzi, we will have an AMA together with Circle, with VP of Product from Circle. We'll be discussing we'll be discussing how different collateralized stablecoins are from Algorithmic. So please make sure to join this AMA. It's going to be very interesting. 2 speakers. It's going to be Max and the VP of Product from Circle. So don't miss that out.
If you want to drop a link to that in the voice chat text channel or general channel, you're definitely welcome to do so. And thank you so much for going so in depth over everything. I'm sure everyone here really appreciated that. We do have some more questions coming in, so I think now would be a good time to address them. So CarCat is wondering if you could go into more detail about what the governance token and the role it will play.
Yeah, maybe I take that question. So as I said, the governance token will be used for insurance. So you'll be able to buy the governance token. You'll be able to farm it. We have decided. But then you stake it into the insurance together with other liquid assets, probably Matic, ETH, USDC. And so that lock will constitute a certain source of value, like an insurance fund, to be used in case of a negative rebase. And then on the other hand, people will be able to insure plus against a negative rebase and pay a certain fee for that. So those who lock their OVNs will first of all risk their OVNs because in case of negative rebase they'll lose. But on the other hand, they will become they would be getting. And once you lock in your OVN, you will get the rights to vote what goes or does not go into USD Plus strategies, or rather what does not go into USD Plus strategies, because you will be concerned about not having an innovative rebase, and you will be voting against it. So, and that governance is there to very conscious and risk-averse behavior and very risk-averse voting. We still need to work on making sure that risk incentives, like we remunerate and kind of reward risk avoidance, risk mitigation to drive the right behavior. But at the moment, the idea is like.
Awesome. Thank you for the further clarification on that. Mr. Tun is wondering, what's the distribution of all the income generated from farming? Do they all get sent as income for USD Plus holders? I think you already touched on this, but if you want to further clarify, again, just for anybody who may have missed it.
I would like actually to thank Mr. Tun in our community and following us so thoroughly. All the content in our Discord channel and inviting us to some other. It's actually been one of our best members and very close friends, I hope, so far. But our business model is the following. We eventually going to charge 0.5% on the TVL per annum. So on 10 million TVL, we will eventually charge 50,000 spread over 360. So each day we will charge like 1/365th of that amount of money. Before we have reached 10 million, the amounts we can charge as a fee are so that it doesn't make sense. So at one point in time we will charge it. So far, percent of the yield we found.
Awesome. Thank you for the in-depth explanations you've been continuing to provide this whole AMA. It's been awesome. I just dropped a few links. So we got your website, your Twitter handle. Andrew's dropped the Discord invite. If there's any other links that we should drop for you guys, maybe a Telegram, feel free to drop them. Definitely want to make sure everyone's able to follow up with you guys after this. We got another question coming in with Momo. He's wondering, are there plans to provide over-collateralization using the funds raised from ICO or sale of governance token?
I think you can see insurance in because there are different levels. Some people call over-collateralization tranching, break your assets into senior and junior tranche as well. At the moment, what we are doing, our model is not to provide collateralization. Our model is to provide. So that's how it's going to work.
Yeah, so with the insurance mechanism is how it'll work rather than doing over collateralization. Your mic was just cutting out a little there.
Yeah, exactly. So sorry about this. But yeah, insurance instead of over collateralization. That's our model.
Awesome. If anyone else has any other questions they'd like to ask while we got the overnight finance team here, please don't hesitate to ask them because we're going to be wrapping this up shortly.
It would be awesome, by the way, to get some questions from this tour. And we really, maybe I use this opportunity to kind of issue a call out for a shout out to the builders and people who would be interested in creating us. Guys, please reach out to us at any point in time. Write to us. I actually read all the messages. So if you just kind of CC me, do add Max Plus in our Discord, I will see it. I'll write me a direct message also. So everyone who is considering how to use Plus within their protocols, be that a game, be that like an NFT marketplace, be that just anything you are building, we would be very happy let us know.
All right. Well, I'm still watching for some last minute questions coming in. If you guys want to keep following up with Overnight Finance, we just dropped a bunch of links in the voice chat text channel. Otherwise, thank you so much, Max, Abdul, Andrew, for coming out today and answering all our questions and showcasing your DApp. I'm really excited about what you guys are building. It looks phenomenal.
Well, thanks
you.
for having us. Absolutely. Yeah, it's a pleasure. And guys, we'd be happy to repeat it once in a while, just coming back with the updates, because like even like 2 days ago our TVL was like not 3 times, like 2/3 lower. So like now we grow. Everything is changing. We have new partners, and Polygon ecosystem is helping us a lot. So yeah, would be happy to continue this. To anyone in the room, thank you for joining today, and make sure to ask your questions in our Discord. Don't wait for AMAs. Sometimes it's even better to like ask there, because you'll have an answer from me, from Max, from Abdul. Everyone is there, and we definitely want to make sure that we are there for you to answer all your questions.
And we're definitely always welcome to have you back again at a later date. This has been a phenomenal AMA. Absolute pleasure.
Pleasure is ours.
Awesome.
Thanks, everyone.
Yeah, I don't see any more questions coming in. Oh, wait. There might be one right here. Oh, it's just a heart. Lots of hearts. Awesome. All right. Well,
thank you, guys. And thanks, everyone, who joined.
Yeah, thank you, everyone, for coming out today.
Yeah.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye, everybody.